And welcome back. Well, many people find tax season confusing, and this year is going to present its own unique challenges because of the tax reform. Some refunds will be held due to a government-mandated delay. H&R Block's Andrew Wagner is here to help navigate the changes and offer solutions for those who face delays. Good morning to you, Andrew.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I find it interesting that this tax reform is the largest change to the tax code in 30 years, and it's going to affect virtually every single one of us. So I think people really want to know, what does it mean in general for most people's tax returns?
Well, you're exactly right. It's the largest change since the late 80s, and it's going to affect virtually everybody. So the tax rates have changed for pretty much everyone. Most people will see a lower overall tax rate. Also, the standard deductions have increased for most people. So married couples filing jointly have the first $24,000 of their income is going to be tax-free because that's what the new standard deduction is for them. Also, if you're single or if you're head of household, so if you have a dependent in the home with you, your standard deduction has increased. The child tax credit, if you have dependents under the age of 17 that live with you, it's gone from $1,000 last year to $2,000 this year. And also the thresholds of your income to claim it have gone up to $400,000 if you're married filing joint. So it's accessible to a lot more people now. So all these things have a cumulative effect, and they're going to help out a lot of people, at least lower the tax liability for many people.
Yeah, you hit a large group of people and kind of an overview there. So let's break it down a little bit further. Who is going to get the largest refund? Who is going to see that?
Yeah, so the people that are going to be getting the largest refunds are the people who plan throughout the year. So even if you have some of these credits on your tax return, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a refund. It's really a comparison between your total taxable income and the amount you had withheld. So Form W-4 is the key form here. That is the form you use to request more withholding through your employer. And if you plan the entire 12 months of 2018, and then for next year, if you start planning right now, you're going to be in a good position because you're going to have the correct amount of withholding for your income. Some people like to get bigger paychecks throughout the year, which means they have less withheld, and some people would rather have less in their paychecks and then get a bigger refund at the end of the year. So it's just kind of a personal preference. Would you rather have that money during the year, or would you rather have it in one lump sum on your tax refund at the end of the year?
Gotcha, that makes a lot of sense. As we're talking about this delay in refunds, because I think that truly can affect people on in a very difficult way. Who is potentially facing a delay when it comes to that?
Yeah, so there are two credits here, the earned income tax credit and the additional child tax credit. If you have one of these credits on your tax return, the IRS is going to be holding on to your refund until mid to late February. This has actually been going on for a few years now. It's part of the PATH Act that was implemented a couple of years ago. So if you have your, one of those credits on your tax return and you file your return right now, you're going to be waiting until mid to late February to get your refund. So if you're in that situation, you could come into an H&R Block office, file your tax return. The IRS doesn't open for electronic filing until January 28th, but you can still electronically file your return now, and you can request a refund advance with H&R Block. And it's sponsored by Access Bank, and it's offered through H&R Block. And what that is it's a no interest, no fee loan that's based on your refund, and it's up to $3,000. So if you are approved, you could get up to $3,000 of your refund that day, and then the rest of your refund would come later on when the IRS issues your refund.
So you said it's basically interest-free. So are there any downfalls to doing it?
Not at all. No, there's no catch to it. So you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But let's say your refund's $2,400. You don't have to get the full $3,000. There are tiers of amount of money you can get up to that. So for example, your refund's $2,400. You could get approved for $500, $750, or $1,250, and then the remaining portion of your refund would come whenever your tax return is or tax refund is issued by the IRS. But there are no downsides to it. No interest, no fees.
Would you ever overestimate the amount that you might get back and then have to just give the rest back? Could that happen, or are they pretty exact about what kind of advance you're getting?
Well, yeah, it's part of your tax return. So at the time that you're offered the refund advance and if you're approved, your tax return's already been filed. So the tax pro's already done your tax return and already determined what your refund is going to be. So there's not going to be a situation where you thought your refund was going to be $4,000 and then you later found out you're actually owing $2,000. That's not likely to happen. So we've already prepared your tax return and come up with your refund amount by the time we offer the refund advance.
Great. So it's really pretty flawless. So real quick, is there a deadline again to be able to do that for the refund advance?
Yep, we're offering up until February 28th, so you would need to come in and start your tax return before then.
That's great. I'm going to give people information so they know how to do that. Thanks so much for joining us, Andrew. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Here's the website so you can learn more. hrblock.com/refundadvance.